Have you ever truly stopped to ask yourself what's standing between you and the person you were meant to be? It's not your surroundings, nor is it the people who doubt you or the challenges life throws in your path. The real obstacle is much closer to home. It's found in the quiet lies you tell yourself, the comfort you choose over growth, the emotions that pull your strings, and the silent battles you fight in your mind. These are the unseen chains that hold you back. But just imagine for a moment if you could break free from them. What if you could rise above the noise, crush the excuses, take control of your emotions, and build a discipline that smashes through every barrier in your way? Visualize a life where every move you make is intentional, where your choices align with your highest purpose, and even your failures become lessons. That's not some distant dream. That's the life waiting for you on the other side of self-mastery. And the path to it? It's not paved with ease or shortcuts. It's forged with grit, shaped in discomfort, and illuminated by an unwavering determination to keep going, even when everything else tells you to stop. The battle begins the moment you open your eyes. The alarm rings and you're faced with a choice. Do you rise or do you hit snooze? That simple moment is packed with power, because that voice, the one that tells you it's okay to rest, that tomorrow will be better, is the voice of the old you. It's the thief in your mind, robbing you of your future. Excuses often disguise themselves as reason, making you feel justified in your choices, even though they are chains. Every time you give in to them, you strengthen the cage around you. Breaking free requires action, right there, in the face of resistance. One push-up when laziness whispers, one sentence written when exhaustion clouds your mind. That first step, however small, starts the chain of momentum. And momentum, it's a weapon. The more you use it, the more unstoppable you become. Think of excuses like weeds. Let them take root and they'll smother your potential. But if you pull them out one by one, you clear the path. You create a garden of strength. Discipline is built just like that, decision by decision, moment by moment. When you refuse to hit snooze, when you push through discomfort, you're not just building habits. You're proving to yourself, not to the world, that you are someone who shows up no matter the circumstances. Forget motivation. It's fleeting. It comes when it feels like it, vanishes when things get tough, and rarely sticks around when you need it most. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. It's the quiet soldier that keeps you moving when every part of you wants to quit. Discipline doesn't ask for a reason. It simply shows up day after day. Motivation may give you the spark to start, but it's discipline that carries you through the fire. The ones who succeed aren't the ones riding waves of excitement. They're the ones who show up when the storms hit, when doubt creeps in, when monotony takes over. They build day by day, brick by brick, never waiting for the mood to be right. Success belongs to the consistent, to the artist who paints through creative blocks, to the athlete who trains in the freezing cold, to the student who studies when every fiber of their being craves rest. It's not about one great act. It's about countless small ones repeated over time. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to choose action over and over again. You'll soon realize that the greatest battle you'll ever fight isn't against the world, your critics, or your circumstances. It's with yourself. It's with the version of you that craves comfort, that clings to fear, that tells you to wait, that says you can't, that whispers, you're not ready. That voice is your true enemy, and it's relentless. But so are you. Deep inside, there's another voice. It's quiet, yet certain. It tells you to rise, to push forward, to grow. This is the disciplined version of you, and it's waiting for you to embrace it. Every time you say no to comfort, every time you act despite fear, you strengthen that version of yourself. Temptations will come. Distractions will try to lure you. Emotions will rage. But every time you resist, every time you act with purpose, you sharpen your resolve. You're not fighting for perfection. You're fighting to be better than you were yesterday. And that battle is ongoing. But with each small victory, you chip away at your weaknesses. Every moment of effort shapes your character. You won't always win. Some days the old voice will be louder. But you keep showing up. You keep choosing discipline. And through that persistence, you'll change. Over time, You'll realize that your greatest achievement wasn't some external success. It was the fact that you didn't give in to the weaker parts of yourself. Then there's hardship, that relentless force that pushes you to your limits. It's not your enemy. It's your ally, disguised as a challenge. Hardship is the forge, the fire, the crucible where strength is made. Pain, failure, and struggle, they aren't meant to break you. They're meant to build you. The easy path never made anyone great. But adversity, that's where true power is forged. Don't fear suffering, learn from it. Because every time life knocks you down, you have a choice. Stay down or rise stronger. The world won't spare you pain, but in that pain, you'll find your true strength. Imagine a sword. It's not sharpened without heat, pressure, or grinding. You are that sword, being refined with each setback, each loss, each sleepless night. Strength isn't built in comfort. It's made when you endure what others run from. So face the discomfort head on. Stand firm in the storm. With each hardship you survive, you move closer to the unshakable version of yourself. You're not being punished. You're being prepared for something greater, something only the strong are ready for. They never told you the path would be easy. They only said it would be worth it, that the struggles would shape you in ways nothing else could. True strength isn't found in moments of ease. It's forged in the fire of adversity. It's in those days when everything is wrong, yet you choose to keep going anyway. The people who rise don't avoid pain. They walk straight into it. They don't curse hardship. They embrace it, knowing that growth comes through suffering. Picture an athlete training before the world sees them compete. Every step is a battle against their limits. Their body screams. Their mind begs them to stop. But they push on, because without that pain, they would never cross the finish line. The same is true for you. Every challenge, every obstacle is preparing you for something greater. It's not there to destroy you. It's there to build you. Endurance isn't about merely surviving. It's about staying grounded when everything around you is shaking. It's about moving forward with heavy steps and a weary heart. It's the fire inside that keeps you going when everything else has gone cold. And every time you endure, you build something within you that can't be bought or taught. An inner strength that's unshakable. A strength that doesn't flinch when the storms come, because it's already withstood worse. So when life tests you, don't resist. Use it. Let it mold you. Let it sharpen you. Because the strongest trees grow where the winds are fiercest. Their roots dig deep. Their branches stretch far. You're no different. Pain is part of life. But how you respond, that's where your power lies. Let hardship be your teacher, not your enemy. Feeling emotions doesn't make you weak. Letting them control you does. Anger, fear, sadness, they visit us all. But the strongest don't let a moment of anger ruin years of progress. They pause, they reflect, and they choose how to respond. Think of a manager in a tense situation. Someone insults them unjustly. Anger rises. The easy thing is to lash out. But instead, they take a breath. They steady themselves. They respond with calm and grace. Not because they don't feel, but because they've learned to lead with clarity. That's emotional mastery. It's not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them and acting with wisdom. Emotions are signals, not commands. Anger shows where your boundaries are. Fear highlights risks. Sadness reminds you of what you value. Don't bury them. Listen to them. Use them. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Emotions are like waves. You can't stop them, but you can learn to ride them. Someone who hasn't mastered their emotions is like a boat tossed by every gust of wind. But someone who has, they're like a skilled sailor, steady even in the stormiest seas. This kind of control doesn't come overnight. It takes time. It takes practice. But it's worth it, because once you've mastered your emotions, you don't just survive the storm. You navigate through it. You choose your course. You become someone who responds with purpose, not reacts in impulse. And from that mastery, you gain self-respect. Not the kind that's built on applause or validation, but the kind that comes in silence, in discipline, In keeping the promises you make when no one is watching. Self-respect isn't a performance. It's a quiet, unshakable truth. It's earned when you live by your values, even when it's hard. The world will tell you to measure your worth by likes, comparisons, and someone else's version of success. But that fades. What remains is the trust you build with yourself. When you set a goal and follow through, you send yourself a powerful message. I keep my word, I can be trusted. And from that trust grows confidence. Think of an artist who shows up every day, not for the applause, but for the craft. They paint, they write, they play, even when no one is watching. That's self-respect. That's discipline. And it's not about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Comparison will steal your focus, pulling your attention away from your own path and luring you into chasing someone else's dreams. But the Stoics understood something crucial: the power you hold over your choices, your actions, and your values. When you live according to your principles, with integrity and persistence, you build something solid, something unshakable. Self-respect isn't loud or flashy. It's earned quietly in the moments when you choose the harder, right over the easier wrong. When you show up for yourself time and time again, not for praise, but for growth, for honor, for the life you're steadily creating, one disciplined step at a time. In that life, endurance becomes your most trusted companion. True strength doesn't demand attention. It simply endures. It rises without ceremony, moving forward without needing applause. Endurance isn't about avoiding pain. It's about standing tall in the face of it, pushing through with unwavering resolve. Life will test you. There will be days when nothing makes sense, when every weight feels too heavy to bear, and when giving up seems like the only option. But endurance speaks in those moments. It whispers, just one more step, just one more try, just one more moment of holding on. And with each act of persistence, you prove something powerful to yourself. You are not defined by the challenges you face, but by how you choose to respond. Think of a marathon runner. They don't run because it's easy. They run because each step makes them stronger, not just physically, but spiritually. Endurance is never glamorous. It's sweat, silence, and pushing forward when the urge to quit grows louder than the desire to continue. But in that struggle, in the quiet decision to keep going, you forge an unbreakable spirit. Complaints won't build that strength. Blame won't shape it. But choosing to endure, to act, and to focus on what you can control, that's what makes you stronger. You don't need anyone's approval to rise. Your strength doesn't lie in how easy your journey is, but in how deeply you choose to live it. Every obstacle, every setback, every moment when you feel like you can't go on, endure it. Let it sharpen you. Let it show you that your limits are only the starting point for something greater. The truth is, the strongest version of you is already inside, just waiting for the storm to bring it out. Endurance isn't just about survival. It's about thriving in the face of adversity, proving to yourself each day that you are stronger than you thought possible. It's in those moments when you push yourself beyond what you thought you could do. Whether it's taking on a challenging task, confronting your fears, or staying calm when frustration rises. Those small moments of endurance add up, and over time, they transform you into someone who can weather any storm. True strength isn't loud. It's found in the quiet, unyielding resolve to keep going without complaint. It's about embracing hardship, mastering it, and discovering a deep well of strength within you that no one can take away. Solitude often terrifies those who are weak because they misunderstand its power. They see it as emptiness, but for the strong, it's a refuge. In solitude, the noise of the world fades away, and you hear the quiet, true voice of yourself. It's in the stillness that you face who you really are, where you sharpen your mind and where you craft your purpose with clarity. In a world filled with distractions, solitude is rare, and many avoid it because it forces them to confront their thoughts, their fears, and their imperfections. But it's in those quiet moments that real growth begins. When all the noise is stripped away, you're left with the truth of who you are. And though that truth can be uncomfortable, it's the foundation of self-awareness. In solitude, you find clarity. Your mind becomes still, reflecting your true thoughts and emotions. You begin to understand what really matters, what drives you, and what holds you back. It's in those quiet moments that you ask the most important questions. Am I living the life I truly want? Am I acting in alignment with my values? What needs to change? These simple questions are powerful. They guide you toward a life of authenticity and purpose. Throughout history, many great thinkers and leaders sought solitude not as an escape, but as a means to refine themselves. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, spent much of his life in solitude, reflecting on his actions and principles. He understood that silence was not weakness, it was strength. It was space to refine his thoughts and build wisdom. He once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Solitude also cultivates self-control. When you're alone, there's no one to impress, no external pressures. You're free to act in accordance with your true self. This freedom fosters discipline, allowing you to set and pursue meaningful goals without distractions. Solitude teaches you to rely on yourself, to find your strength from within rather than seeking it externally. The mind is both a battleground and a sanctuary, and those who master it transform it into an ally. The chaos of the mind is natural, but it's not insurmountable. By focusing on what you can control and releasing what you can't, you turn your mind into a powerful tool. Imagine a father coming home from a difficult day at work, his mind still swirling with frustration. He walks in, and his son accidentally spills a glass of water. In that moment, the anger he feels isn't about the water. It's about the unresolved tension of the day. But instead of reacting, he pauses, chooses to focus, and redirects his energy into connecting with his son. That is mental discipline. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. In today's world, distractions are endless, and a cluttered mind is a distracted one. Simplifying your mental environment is crucial. Set boundaries, say no when needed, and carve out moments of quiet. It's in these moments of stillness that clarity and purpose take root. A disciplined mind isn't immune to negative thoughts, but it knows which ones to entertain and which ones to release. Like an athlete in training, doubts will come, but rather than letting them dictate their actions, the athlete refocuses on their goal. Mental discipline allows you to perform at your best, no matter what's going on around you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Once you master the chaos within, no external challenge will break you. Life is a battlefield, and every day presents new challenges. These battles test our resolve, our patience, and our will to continue. But only those who are mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared can rise above the chaos and emerge victorious. The warrior's mentality isn't about raw power. It's about mastering yourself. It's about facing life's obstacles with courage and never surrendering to the struggle. A true warrior doesn't look for comfort. They understand that growth comes from challenge. Hardship is not an enemy, it's a teacher. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who faced failure after failure before becoming one of the greatest leaders in history. He lost jobs, failed in business, and faced rejection in politics. But he never gave up. Lincoln said, "I am a slow walker, but I never walk back." This is the warrior's mentality. Progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. Warriors don't complain or seek pity. They focus on what they can control, their mindset, their actions, and their responses. It's the father who works tirelessly for his family, the student who pushes through the late nights for their dreams, the single mother who juggles work and parenting. These are the warriors in our world. They don't wear armor, but their battles are just as heroic. True strength is in persistence, not perfection. Warriors wake up early, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. They prioritize their responsibilities, not because distractions don't exist, but because they've learned to silence them. Being a warrior isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about finding meaning in it. As Viktor Frankl said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Warriors don't waste energy on what they cannot control. Instead, they adapt, grow, and transform. Every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Life will continue to test us. The storms will come. The battles will rage. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. The warrior's mentality isn't about winning every battle. It's about showing up every day with the determination to fight, to grow, and to never give up. The path of self-improvement is the path of true strength, and it's the path of the warrior. Every moment of endurance, every step forward, every promise you keep to yourself brings you closer to your true potential. So what's stopping you? The time to act is now. Start today. Take control of your life and become the warrior you were always meant to be.